Should probably get back on that page. All right, we're live again. Is it a new live? Let's see what's happening. Hold on one second. That is something that is never. We streamed for like 6 hours on Giving Tuesday, and that didn't happen during that. We were only going for like 20 minutes. Seriously, so we want to get as much communication from you as possible about what's important to you, and if these are categories. So I can't really tell, and I lost all the comments, and people were asking good questions before, so I'm not sure where they're seeing us, but we're live again at 48 seconds. So Phoebe, are you still here? What's happening? Oh, she is. You're muted.
There we go.
Hi.
I'm back. I have those two comments.
Oh, you do have them. Okay.
So I can tell you what they are.
We're live, so I'm gonna go back to sharing screen. Sorry, just to get. But like my point was again, if this is a new live stream, God, we'll splice them together, and I'll take down the two lives.
Yeah, so you might have to redo on YouTube.
Oh,
what? Isn't reloading. It's still just showing.
Okay.
Well, maybe it might have refreshed finally.
Oh, really? Interesting. All right. I don't know what happened. Obviously, because if I did, I wouldn't have let it happen. I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking about that. But my point is, I'm just like figuring this out live as I'm going through the process myself. I want to make sure that people have the best experience possible. And a lot of people, awards are important to them. And we've learned, of course, and I know this as well, being who I am, that representation is important. So we want people to feel that they're represented by the possibilities of being nominated and being recognized at Brickworld. You know, it's important to a lot of people. So I'm going to go ahead and click none on this for now, but I think this needs to change, and maybe very soon. And yes, very soon. And don't worry, because once you submit something, you can go back and edit it. So next time you go back in and edit your orchard, your mock card for that, and we'll make an announcement about this to anybody. Like, we'll make an announcement on social media and throw it in one of our. We try not to email our website accounts too often, but what we'll do is we'll go back in and let people know that we've updated the way that you request your mock cards, and that you have the option for being in several categories, that you have the option to say, none of these categories fit my build, or I don't want to be eligible for awards, because there is a huge difference and there's only one option to say both. And so people may be clicking that button for other reasons. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change this to vignette just to show you that you can change it. I'm going to hit update. So yay, fun. We don't even know if anybody's here. Because we have technical glitch. I was going to change the name from Mark to Derek, but I already showed you how to do an update. So the next thing that we can do with our My Page is, let's see. Oh, this is a good one. I like this a lot. This is really important for people to understand. How to sign up to lead an activity. So I'm going to go up here to the account tab, and I'm going to grab My Page from the submenu. And you have, under My Convention stuff, you have My Leader Roles. And so all of the presentations and workshops at Brickworld Chicago are run by fans for fans. So anything that's done there, we want you to create the entire experience. It's about you. It's for you. So we give everybody the ability to run an activity. It's not just presentations and workshops. It's also competitions, social activities, set drafts, or anything you want to do. As long as it's legal, we'll at least consider it. But most of the activities that are submitted to us make their way into the schedule. And by the way, by what I mean by most is like 99.9%. I can't think of very often that we've said no to someone who wants to run an activity. So I'm going to go ahead again. This is what it looks like. That's what it says. It says no entries match your request when this table is empty. Either way, it's lead another activity is the button that you want to press to sign up for the first activity you want to lead. So what you do, you go in here, leader first name. I'm Mark. My last name is Larson, so that's what I put in. Email address, co-leader name. Let's say that I'm just gonna say Phoebe Schwabe is leading the presentation with me. Title of activity. Did I get your? Yeah, I spelled it right. I'm like, did I leave out an E? No, it's right there. Oh, what happens when you have a technical glitch in the middle of a broadcast? Like your brain and heart just
Where's your brain?
happening. I don't think it's the worst thing to happen in the world, but my entire nervous system is telling me it is. So let me just double check this real quick. Are we still live? Yes, we are. So the title of activity is how to make white bricks yellower. Oh, I
I think it's the opposite way, but okay.
exactly. I actually had this problem last year when I was doing the program and the schedule. I was like, these titles are too long, so we brought this down to 30 characters. Yellowing white bricks, because everybody wants to know how to make white bricks yellower, and we may change this. We get a lot of complaints about it. I want to run an activity, but I can't get the title in that I want. We may bring that restriction back out. Let's say this is going to be a workshop because we have lost two of our staple workshops. And one of the great experiences about Chicago is you can do a workshop. And a lot of people want to be able to do workshops, but they're worried about materials. A lot of people who attend workshops pay extra to attend the workshop because somebody is running them that needs materials, that needs to purchase them. So what we do is we facilitate the purchase through us. Don't worry about that. If there's something that you need materials for, let us know what you need. We may have better access to materials like what you need, so we may be able to offer it to you for free. Best case scenario, we can make a workshop happen for no additional cost to registered attendees. But if you need something specific, if you need specific materials, we will help you facilitate. You can charge money for these. So if you're sourcing materials, we will collect the money through our insurance, through our tax, through our business, and then get and reimburse you for what you purchased for them. And the charges go then to the people who want to participate in the workshop. This has not been something that has been restrictive to people who are interested in the workshop titles. Most of our workshops are somewhere between $15 and $40. Most are on the lower end. We always charge $35 for the GBC workshop, which if you don't know, GBC is Great Ball Contraption. If you've never seen it and you're coming to Chicago, you will see an amazing representation of it. But we need people to do this. We need people who are interested in leading something in the community, in being part of the Brickworld community in that way, to run presentations, workshops, roundtables or panel discussions. More panel discussions would be excellent because there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the community that like getting a panel of experts in like Lego nerddom would be amazing. And then set drafts, of course, happen all the time, and we don't need our permission to do them, but we do put some in the schedule so that people can show up with the set that's being drafted. If you don't know what a set draft is, we'll get to that in a later live stream that hopefully won't cut off in the middle. And then there's games and competitions as well. We also, again, Phoebe, yeah, you can put this in other for now, but we should also put in like people who want to run social events, because with a high percentage of new attendees, which we do have a higher percentage of new attendees this year, it's not 50% like it was last year, but we want to have more social activities for people to get to know each other and get involved in. And even for the people who've been coming for years, the show grows and grows every year. So people who have been coming for a long time and they already have their group or their clique or whatever you want to call it, getting an opportunity to meet more people that they might not do so because they're comfortable with the people that they already know, gives us a lot of opportunity to just make the community stronger and build it further into the future, and keep all our Lego fans happy who make Brickworld Chicago their home show, or just come check us out a couple times or every couple of years. Anybody who wants to come to the show. Session length, I think the most typical is for presentations is 50 minutes. Some games go 30 minutes. For a workshop, I would say at least an hour and 50 minutes. You want to give people 2 hours to kind of demonstrate and then let them get their hands on the bricks or whatever material it is they're working with. because we've had, the reason I say this is because we've had workshops that are like how to make custom capes out of custom fabrics, minifig size capes, and like how exactly to cut them and like what type of fabric to look for. It's a really cool workshop that Reed Yeager has done in the past. Um, but this is also flexible. So if you let us know you're putting something together and you find out your PowerPoint presentation is going 2 hours and you want it to be a presentation, just let us know. And we'll throw that in the schedule that way. You're willing to lead the session. Most sessions go once. However, if you want to do it twice, because you're like, yeah, I could do it on Thursday and Friday. Those are the presentation and workshop days. We may come back to you and say our schedule's getting full. Would you mind running this only once? But if you're willing to run it twice, that's great. There's a lot of people who show up on a lot of people show up on Friday. So there's a lot of events that happen on Wednesday and Thursday, but their schedule doesn't allow them to get to the show until Friday. So if you have something you think is going to be great and a lot of people are going to want to participate in and you want to run it Thursday and Friday, just let us know. Again, you can put that in the description of activity. This is something that's going to go directly into the program and onto the app. That's a different new topic that we'll get to in another live stream in the future. We're going to have an app for Brickworld this year, but the descriptions will go directly into the schedule that will appear on the website, in the program, and on the app. So do your best to speak to your audience, not to us, the people who are running Brickworld. Speak directly to the audience with this description, because it's what we're going to use to put into our communications with the badged attendees about what presentation we'll be running. If you ever want to run a presentation or workshop for the public, by all means, let's give it a shot. It hasn't happened yet, but if you're willing to do just anybody who wants to walk into it, we can work with that as well. So I'm going to say, are you tired of super white bricks? Learn how to make them dingy yellow. And then in this next screen here, do you need a projector and a screen? Most people do. Do you need a computer? Please let us know as soon as possible if you need a computer. That'll take some logistics on our part, but we do have them available. Do you need speakers for audio? Most people say no. We are working on getting a sponsorship so that we do have speakers for every presentation and workshop room, because it's just a lot easier, especially for people who aren't used to public speaking. Space needed. And this is where, like, a lot of our presentations and workshops, of course, happen in outside rooms. A lot of social activities happen on the floor. Some of them happen in, like, other spaces throughout the hotel. Let us know what you're thinking about. Floor space in the event hall is a lot of fun, especially if other people can watch what's being participated in. But let us know whatever you need, and we'll do our best to accommodate. We do have quite a bit of leeway with the room space that we can utilize. And the Renaissance, because we book so many hotel rooms, and because we rent the entire venue space, they pretty much bend over backwards to give us what we're looking for. I know some people in 2022 had some trouble. The venue was having some trouble with their event staff. So a lot of turnover during the pandemic. Some of our event spaces weren't set up when they were supposed to be. We're definitely getting ahead of that this year. We're gonna do our best to not let that happen again. And then attendance limit per session. A lot of people for presentations and workshops will just say 50. For this workshop, I would say it takes a lot to turn a white brick yellow. So I'm going to say that we can only take 25 in our workshop here. And then cost for participants. This is where you would enter it in what it is that you want if you are trying to procure other parts. Now, a good example of this is Barbara Hoel does a workshop on how to create Lego flowers, and she sources the parts herself. And so let's just say I'm just going to pull a number out of the air here. I'm going to say that our workshop costs $10 because we need glass bottles, UV lights, and hydrogen peroxide. And then additional information. So this is what shows on the website. So you're going to put something in here like it costs $10 for participants, because this is how you get people to actually come. If something costs too much or it doesn't seem like the materials are worth what they're going to be getting from the workshop, cost for participants includes white bricks, peroxide, UV flashlights, glass jar. Let people know what it is that they're going to be paying for, because if you just put like, hey, it's fun, they're not going to come. They're not going to spend extra money for that. Um, and it gives us an indication too about what you're going to be using the funds for, so that we don't have to audit every workshop. Other information that's not shown on the website, be all like, hey, Mark, but I won't answer this. Kevin and Allison will, our layout managers. Can I get a slop bucket? I don't know. How about because you might need some extra, an extra place to mix your hydrogen and water. Oh, because you need water. Because there's probably not a hose in any of the workshop rooms. Can I get a slop bucket for water? Sure. And then you submit it. And there you go. That is how to sign up to lead an activity. We haven't had any new comments. I don't think anyone is here.
Yeah. But it'll be informational when we repost it.
And we're definitely recording it. So let's move on to our next, which I believe is how to book
Do we
a...
want to mention real quick
Yeah,
of
sure.
just because you submit an activity request doesn't necessarily mean you'll get to do it
Yeah.
potentially?
So I said that like 99.9% of them are approved on content, but you're also right that if you want to do an activity, I would get registered and then sign up to do the activity as soon as possible, because if our schedule gets too full, we are not able to add anything new once our schedule is full. So we do have a capacity for time, and there actually is a capacity for space for that.
We only have 20 rooms.
We could make as much space as possible, but we can't just like past a certain amount. We certainly can't. And our schedule gets full, it's hard to communicate it as well. So we're trying to keep it to the minimum number of rooms to keep the schedule readable as well. So good point. Thank you. How to book a hotel room. Phoebe's been a rock star on this, because this is the first year where we are at capacity in February. So last year we booked for the entire convention 941 room nights. At this point, and actually it's been a couple weeks, before we had 800 participants, I think it was before we were even up to 700, we had booked 1,271 room nights. So our room block is at capacity. I talked to someone this weekend that called to get their to see if they can get the Saturday night, because it was the only night that they were missing, and there was a cancellation, and they did give it to them at the room night at the hotel block room night rate. So best case scenario, check in from time to time by calling the reservations number. Again, it's here in on your My page. Go to book my room, and it takes you to this site. There is I can't click on that link because it's my hotel interface. But basically, where, Phoebe, do you know where we have that number listed for reservations?
Yes, so it's under the convention general information in the hotel and sorry, my webpage is really hotel and get a room. There
There
we
it
go.
is. What do you know? Thank you. So you can go to, again, it's convention, general information. Underneath that, it's hotel, get a room. We have the reservations number here. A lot of times, this is the best way to make your reservation. Instead of doing it through that link I showed you, the best thing to do is call them up and tell them what you're planning. Because if you are coming, say, from overseas or just over the border, and you want to make an entire reservation from like the Monday before the show to the following Monday, and we don't have a lot of times we don't put a lot of nights in on Monday night, because in my estimation, I'm the only person who's going to be there for 7 days, right? But a lot of people had different ideas this year, so we have a lot of people who are coming in for a full week or more. And if you talk to the reservations staff, they will do their best to accommodate you, even if they have to like put a pin in it and call me or email me or Phoebe at this point, because Phoebe's been managing it. And what Phoebe has done is set up another room block, which is something I never thought we would try to do for Chicago. And let me give you an idea here where this new room block is tentatively going to be. So here, right here on this red dot is the Renaissance Schaumburg Hotel and Convention Center. The whoops, actually incorrect. That's the Hyatt House. Um,
Yep.
here we go, live editing. Um, is right here across the expressway. So here's that big old expressway that if you join us on Sunday night at the back patio party on Sunday night after the convention is over, it's the beautiful expressway that you overlook as everyone's hanging out and decompressing from the weekend. It's just over this overpass here and then down a little road before you even get to Woodfield Mall where the Lego store is. And they're going to be giving us a free shuttle for anybody who is staying at the hotel here that is attending the convention center here. So again, this is absolutely unprecedented for us to have our room block fill up so early. We have oftentimes in the past gone to the capacity of our room block that's available, but not in February. Like, it's
Maybe like May.
seriously, that's exactly right. It's always May when that happens, and we're like, everybody get your rooms, and there's enough movement where people will still get their rooms in May. But wow, I mean, this has been this is exciting for us because a lot more people are interested in staying because there's less registrants at this point than there were all of last year, but there's a much higher number of room blocks. So it's like people are more interested in making it that experience great. It's a good problem for us to have as a business. It's a little bit different for us to make sure that we're offering a product that is similar and has capacity. So we have a lot of options on our plates moving into the future and what to do next year if this is something that's continuing to happen. We're running out of display space. We're running out of hotel space. What does that mean for us to move into the future? And hey, we're back. It's us. It's our faces. Hi, Phoebe. So
Hi.
I was going to open it up to a live Q&A, but I don't know anybody knows that we're still doing this. Actually, it says I'm live. I don't know where I'm live.
Right. It does say we're on live. We could answer the two questions that were submitted before things messed up, just so when they come back to listen, they can know the answer.
Great idea. What were the questions?
So the first one was, can I change my screen name?
Yeah,
Which I don't believe you can through your My Page. Can you?
let me check.
I think
So,
we actually have to email us and then we change it.
which
Because I've
we
had to do that for a couple of people.
I thought there was something in there. I'm checking right now. Going
Good.
do, 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 do. And it might be difficult for me. So if I go into and I can't get into I had pre-order items as another thing to go over, but we'll put that in the future because I want to talk about the badge, but we kind of talked about the badge a little bit. Um, yeah, no,
Yeah, because you can't change your badge registration after
yeah,
it. We'll
that,
have to email the contact us at brickworld.com.
yes, and that's what you do. You email contact us at brickworld.com. Don't hit up me or Phoebe on social media or text us or hit us up with a DM on Facebook or Instagram or Discord because we're on Discord. What was the other question?
The other question was, if I'm only displaying in the GBC layout, do I need to submit a table request?
No, there's a GBC coordinator. So I would tell that person if you don't know who the GBC coordinator is, um, look for. Well, we have him on the website, but he's taking a sabbatical. So Jeremy Moody will be the. Uh, uh, we moved it. Where is it? Home about. I can't even find it myself on the website. Jeremy Moody is the GBC coordinator this year. So because of the workshop, and they don't know how many people are going to show up and want to put their modules that they build in the workshop in the GBC layout. They leave extra space, so they get a ton of tables, and then when people show up with stuff, that gives them more opportunity to put stuff in. We typically bring a lot more tables out to them as they're setting up, as they have more and more people show up. So for GBC, you can typically uh, um, show up with your modules and get them in the loop. Um, if you can go the extra mile of contacting the GBC coordinator, it would help them out a lot. Maybe that's something we should put on the website, Phoebe. It's like,
I feel like we should, especially if it's somebody newer who maybe has a lot of GBC they want to put in. That way we can make sure we have enough room for all of them.
and it gives the GBC coordinators a chance as well to kind of check in with these people beforehand and let them know like the standards. Because I know it happens a lot at the expos where people drop off a GBC module and it's something that hasn't been tested or doesn't like have the right input output level, literal like brick level, like that has to come in and out at a certain height. Um, and so a lot of times people are like, I built a GBC and like they tested it for 10 minutes. And so that gets dropped off at the GBC table and they have to take it out. And so GBC really wants, again, Great Ball Contraption, wants people who are invested in the activity of Great Ball Contraption. Helps if you haven't done it before to attend the GBC workshop. So yeah, basically it's complicated, but being part of the community is, there's a reason it's complicated, because the community is complicated because these modules are so complicated and the engineering that goes into it and making that loop function all day. It's a lot of work. So good.
Yeah, and especially that person who just wants to bring GBC, if they want to help run it and be one of the people to make things keep running all day.
Exactly. And they do want people who are interested in that level that want to be back there and learn that with them, because I've seen things happen where like gears explode or melt. It's like, because when they're running all day like that, and like depending on like the torque that like somebody has put in that they don't understand exactly how like the friction works, or they don't understand how like the wear, even those who do, after a while, it's, at the end of the day, it's plastic. you know the metal gears in our cars break down after years. It's like sometimes this plastic is done after hours. I've seen a worm gear get pushed all the way through a worm gear box because things just happen with GBC. So,
Yep.
um, I will save pre-purchase stuff for a later live stream. Again, where are we live right now? No idea. The comments, my comment board is like dead.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's just recording and we'll have to post it up for everybody to see and send us emails.
Yes, please send us emails at contactus@brickworld.com. Don't message us privately on social media, or please don't text me. Please don't. They'll get so lost. For those of those who know my personal number, which a lot of people who do expos do. So, what an exciting announcement we have on top of all of this is like we want, again, to build Brickworld as a community. So we've been using Discord for a while to set up our expos, which, if you don't know, we run not only the convention, but we run 4 Brickworld expos.
Right
Milwaukee,
now.
exactly. Milwaukee, Indianapolis, Detroit, and Fort Wayne. We have signed and I've made a deposit on a 5th show, but we aren't ready yet to announce it because we're still negotiating with them on how we're going to sell our tickets. So there's going to be a 5th location this year, and it might be something different than we've ever done before. Maybe. Who knows? Because we can't announce it yet. So we have a... Is it this? Nope, that's the title of the show. Is it this? No, because we can't do that.
That's
So
the end.
I can like take this out of it. Maybe I forgot to upload it. I can just do that real quick. How are you, Phoebe? How are kitties? How are kitties?
They're good. Only one came to visit and she left pretty quickly.
I think maybe even I forgot to. Oh, there it is. Do. So in being on Discord, there it is. Everybody see it? Can you? Yes, it's in there. So we're opening up Brickworld community forums on Discord. So follow this link. I will drop it I will edit the description of wherever it ends up because we don't know, because the live stream just gave up.
Done.
point. I don't know how to avoid that. That's what really scares me. But we want the Brickworld Discord community to be about fans for fans. However, we don't want it to be a place where you're dropping us messages about your display space. We want to keep it clear of that because we have other avenues to do that. We just want this to be a place where like AFOLs who come to Brickworld Chicago can catch back up with each other, can keep connected throughout the year, can collaborate if they want, and whatever else ends up being a use for the community, we'll create forums for in our Discord channel. And if that becomes being like Brickworld questions for staff, then we'll make that a separate forum. But we really want this to just be about like what you need to socialize in the community, share your resources, build great displays at Brickworld, and just keep in touch with each other and just have fun. I mean, we can even, if anyone's interested in just like getting together and building and chatting, just having links, just having time set up where you guys can hang out and build and chat with each other. We want the Brickworld community to be building,
Alive year round.
yeah, exactly, alive year round, and building the AFOL community in the meantime. And we don't want to be the only place you do this. We don't want this to be like, we don't want to like sit out. We're not trying to like catapult ourselves ahead of other brands of Lego conventions. We just want it to be accessible by the people who do come to our show. And this is going to be live and everywhere. So even if you haven't been to Brickworld, even if you don't even have a website account, it's something that we're going to make available so you can meet some of these people and talk to other Lego fans and be part of the community, even if you can't make it to the show. So if you have travel restrictions for whatever reason and you want to come to Brickworld and you just haven't been able to, but you want to talk to some of these people that do, or if you aren't a fan of Brickworld, but you're still a Lego fan and want a community where people are discussing the things that you want to talk about, that's what we're putting this together for. Please join us. We've got some directions once you get there. They should be in the, this should drop you right into our rules channel. If it doesn't, because again, this is new, so we're all going to be playing this by ear. Once you get on there, just message David Turner and let him know that you want to be part of the Brickworld community forums. If you're not already in there as soon as you get in, because I think he sent me a very specific message about this earlier, and I don't remember what he said. And I probably should have had that down pat. I should have had it in our documents.
That's all right.
Here we go, live recorded. We don't know, but this is we're gonna do this every Monday, and hopefully we get through the entire hour without it just like shutting down.
Right.
But this was much more concise than I thought it would be. I guess without the Q&A, it wouldn't have been. We only did 2 questions, so I should probably work on something to make sure that it's just a half hour. But hey, it's all new.
That's all right.
Exactly. Our hearts are in the right place, and hopefully our skills will be in the same place as our hearts very soon. We're working on it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, and good night. And thank you, Phoebe, for being here and keeping me on task.
You're welcome.
We did repurchase items. I'm very happy that you reminded me about the brick badge earlier. No, because I was panicking. Because that's apparently, I learned something about myself tonight. When you're doing a live stream, when I'm doing a live stream, and everything just shuts down, my heart rate goes way up, and then the pulse is here in my temple, and I get a little dizzy. Now I know.
It's all good.
Thank you, Phoebe. Thank you, Brickworld community, and we will see you next Monday at 7 p.m. Central.
Sounds great.
Good night.